29-minute HELOC. That is as long as it took Dave to get a home equity line of credit through a new program that is offered by our dear friends, Team Pinchuk at CrossCountry Mortgage. Stick around. This is going to be an interesting video. Hey guys, if this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the notifications bell so you can stay up to date on all of our latest content. Our real estate team gets calls, texts, emails every single day from people like you trying to learn more about North Idaho. So if you guys are thinking about making the move right now or 12 months from now, it doesn't matter. Shoot us a text, call, email, whatever. Let's get that conversation started. So 29-minute HELOC, right? Is that what we're talking about today?
Yes.
What is a HELOC? Home equity line of credit, in case you're wondering what that is.
How's a HELOC work?
We're going to dive into that.
How does a HELOC work? I mean, pretty simple, right? It's a credit line. So look at it as a credit card. You borrow money against it. Now you owe that money. You pay on what you actually borrow. So you pay it back. Now it's available for future use, and then you keep using it. It's just like a typical credit line, credit card, whatever you want to look at.
How much do people typically have to have in terms of equity in a home to get a line of credit?
So depending where, or the program you're using, you could go all the way up to 95%. Typically, what a lot of places would like to see is 80%. We have options with CCM, CrossCountry Mortgage, whether it's 95%, 90, 85, 80. And then just like the typical home loans, the higher your loan to value, the higher the loan amount in comparison to your property worth or appraised value, the higher your interest rate is going to be.
Yeah.
So the more quote unquote skin in the game you have, the more equity you have that you're not touching, the lower your rate and your payment's going to turn out to be.
Okay.
The reason we put this together is because I just did this with your guys' new tool.
Oh, just my favorite client, by the way.
And
Wow.
and the crazy thing was we just did a HELOC. We're doing some renovations on our house, and did Raina say it took 29 minutes?
Yeah, from the start, she
timed
started
it for
the
us.
application to the time you got to the point where it says now schedule your signing and to receive the notary.
Yeah.
It was 29 minutes.
So
That is insane. Okay,
Yeah.
pause. I'm working on a HELOC right now through someone else because we'll get to that. And yeah, it's been weeks,
yeah.
right? If I needed that money right away, like you did, I'd be screwed.
So it's just like a normal closing, right? It can be about 30 days. And we were actually working through one. And you guys, now that you're at CrossCountry Mortgage, you guys, we were 3.5 weeks into mine, right? We were probably a week from funding. And Raina just said, hey, we've never tried this new tool. Let's give it a shot. So I went the second route and decided, okay, well, let's do this thing. So she got on the other side of the computer, which was cool because she could see my whole application happening. And I'll tell you, okay, so 29 minutes, and we did a HELOC. We were asking for $232,000.
That's a chunk,
okay,
yeah.
That's a lot of money, right? So we go through this whole thing, and we end up. I had to go in and give it my personal information. I told it how much I made. Okay, I just said I make X amount, and it goes okay. And then I had to upload, or I just had to tell it how much my mortgage was, how much I paid a month for that, how many homes I owned, who was on it. I mean, I'm literally going through this, just typing out this information pretty quick. What really shocked me is because the underwriting process for a bank statement loan or something like that, you guys have to go through and verify all the income and the validation over sometimes years to find out if it's consistent income and where your expenditures are and all that stuff. It signed in and logged into my account. It asked me to log into my bank accounts. Okay, we had to do 2 of them. That took me a few minutes. And within a minute, it had gone through my transaction history and validated my income in like a minute. I mean, basically the full underwriting process.
It was all AI?
Yeah, it was
It's
all AI.
And it's a cool thing, right? I always bring this up wherever industry you're in. AI is a very cool enhancement to a lot of industries. I don't personally see that, hey, it's going to take over, but it's going to enhance. It's going to change the industry. For instance, we do regular home loans, bank statement loans, and yes, there's an algorithm. We have to go through it, and then we have our underwriters review, make sure we did everything correctly and added up the right deposits. But to talk about, minutes, right, from uploading a bank statement. So first of all, this is a bank statement HELOC. So it's great for those people that are like, oh, I don't want to submit all my tax returns. I got 7, 8 different businesses and so much is going on. This is great. You log in, right? Use your online banking information, and it pulls your statements for you, and it's analyzing them in literally seconds.
North Idaho Arms is a proud sponsor of this podcast. North Idaho Arms is a locally owned full-service gun store in Post Falls, Idaho, founded under one guiding principle. They are unapologetically pro 2A. The owner, BZ, is a friend of ours and is a 2A rights absolutist. North Idaho Arms throws a flaming middle finger to all unconstitutional gun laws. Handguns, rifles, suppressors, magazines, ammo, complicated moves, estate transaction, BZ does it all. And yes, you can purchase some of these items if you're a Washington resident. Go see BZ at North Idaho Arms, Post Falls, Idaho.
It was
In
great.
seconds.
Dude, it was wild.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. It tells you, I think I had money deposited in my bank in 10 days.
Wow.
You're not even a third through the
No.
whole process if you go to a traditional bank, traditional underwriting. Okay. The only reason I got hung up, right, and it didn't take only 5 days, is because I tried to upload a photo of my ID and it had a chip in the corner, and it was like, no, can't accept it, can't accept it. And so I got hung up on this stupid thing. Just so you know, if you do this and you have that problem, you can take a photo of your ID, upload it into ChatGPT, tell it to fix your ID, and then send that photo in, and that works apparently.
Are there any security issues with having AI go through your bank accounts? Are people going to be weird about that?
You know what's my personal opinion on it?
Yeah.
I think AI can go ahead and go through them anyways if it wants to.
Good point. Probably already
I don't
does.
think the system is so secure that it couldn't just look at my bank accounts anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I guess my opinion on that, what's the difference between, especially a lot of people will call just a random bank and they're talking to someone in Oklahoma. Well, I mean,
That's
they
a
can
good
go
point.
through it, right?
Yeah.
If anything, in this case, I would probably trust AI more because AI is not going to benefit necessarily
Yeah.
from selling your info as much as like an individual,
Yeah, if you're
right?
using one of those mortgage companies, I won't say the name, but it rhymes with Socket Mortgage. If you're using one like that,
pile of shit.
and you're dealing with some idiot in who knows where, yeah, that person's looking at your stuff. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That would be more concerning to me.
I mean, and realistically, if someone, I always said, there's so many smarter people in the world than me. If someone really wants to
We know.
go and, well, if someone really wants to go in and get your information, right,
They're
they
gonna be
probably
able to
can.
do it.
Okay.
Whether they have AI, whether it's me on the other side, I mean, someone can figure it
Yeah.
out, right?
So the pros of this, I want to just do a pros and cons of this 29-minute HELOC is what we're calling it. The pros of this, like, why did you need that money so fast?
Well, it's not even that you need it so fast. I did need it because we had projects that were backing up, and we were trying to do everything cash for as long as we could, but we're like, man, we just can't keep up with the pace of trying to do what we were doing. So, I had to basically hold off projects until I knew that I had funds in the bank so I could start paying people out and getting deposits going because, I mean, we're doing asphalt.
Yep.
They need a $25,000 deposit where we're not doing that till August. Well, I got to make sure I get on their list. So it was one of those things where time was somewhat crucial for me being able to pull funds in. So being able to do that and have access to it. And, when you talk about pros, I'll tell you this, the people that really benefit from doing this are people that bought their homes right before everything spiked. Because they have so much equity in their homes, and they can turn around and you want to put in that pool, you want to do these things. Like, you can now renovate your home and you can take access to that money, and to be able to get it so you could always do a traditional one. I'm not saying you can't, but it's so simple to be able to get a HELOC going through this system. What is it called? It's called what is the HELOC system called? that you guys
Figure.
have? Figure.
Yeah.
Okay, question. Is there a particular type of employment that this benefits over others, like people like having the bank statement?
I would,
HELOC.
and you asked for the pros. I mean, the big one is I would push for self-employed, right?
Okay,
I mean,
got it.
a lot of self-employed business owners, they find ways to write off their income
Legally.
right?
Legally, of course.
legally, of
Yeah,
course.
of
They
course.
go through all the tax laws. It's the best, the very best tax law we have. But they go, they use the tax laws. They write off a lot of income. So when you use a bank statement, we're not going off, quote unquote, your income, your net, your gross. We're just looking directly on how much money is being deposited into your account, right? And so I brought this up earlier. If you have multiple businesses, the last thing you want to do if you need to borrow $50,000 is go through and prepare and find 6 different tax returns for the last 2 years. it's a pain in the ass. Let's just be honest. It really is. So this way is easy. It's like, hey, all I have to do is log in. They're going to ask me to log into my online banking, put in your information. They're going to pull the statements automatically, and that's it. I mean, we didn't ask you for your tax returns for this. We didn't ask for W-2s or pay stubs, 1099s, nothing. It was literally his personal information and bank statements.
It was so wild to just tell it what I made. I make this amount, and this is where it comes from. I mean, some of them I was almost guesstimating. Yeah. And then to send it in and it look and go, yeah, looks like that's about right. You have that much money coming in every month.
Yep.
And then just go, okay, cool, you're approved.
Yeah.
And then the appraisal. The appraisal was crazy. The appraisal was done in those 29 minutes.
Wow.
I literally put in my address and said, okay, you're valued around here. You're good. I mean, there was nobody that came out to our house. Nobody looked at anything.
Doesn't cost $1,000 to have an appraisal, right?
No.
And that's the beauty of it too, right? What's the pros on it? One is it's easy. It's efficient. Is it going to be more expensive than your traditional?
Well, that's for the
HELOC?
cons. Hold on.
Okay.
It's cons, bro.
It's easy. It's quick. A lot of it is, so we've used this several times now when we have someone that wants to buy a house and they can't get their offer accepted on a contingent offer, but they don't want to do a bridge because a bridge can be pretty costly depending on the purchase price and so on. So this is a very quick and easy alternative to a bridge program.
Okay, so hold on. So a person going to buy a house, they're taking a HELOC out in 29 minutes and getting that money within 5 days. And now they can go write an offer on a new house, use that HELOC money as the down payment. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
And then roll it in without having to sell their current house, sell it after. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what we've done before. The cool part about this HELOC is your house could be listed. It can be on the market. If you go to and that's the big key factor. You're going to go to a credit union or a local bank. What's going to happen is they'll see your house listed. You're not getting a HELOC.
And isn't it sometimes like if it was listed recently, sometimes they want as well?
Correct.
Yeah. So you can't like pull it off and then.
So you can't just, a lot of times you'll run into that problem. If it was listed, they want a certain amount of time for it to be off the market. And the big reason is they want to make their money back, right? If they're going to give you a HELOC, they want you to use it. They want to make their money back. But if they know all you're going to do is take the money out, buy a house, sell this one within a month, banks and credit unions, they're not going to recoup their money that they put into this. So that's why they don't want to even touch those loans, which is, I mean, think about it, it's logical, it's fair. With our option here, they're going to charge you more up front. But the cool part about it is you can pick out what you want.
Hey guys, before we get too deep, make sure you hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss any of our latest North Idaho Experience content. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or just exploring North Idaho, reach out to our team. We're proud to be one of the top-rated real estate teams in North Idaho with the 5-star reviews to back it up. We don't just sell homes, we help people experience North Idaho. Our contact info is in the show notes. Now let's get back to the episode.
Whether you want to pick my rate and everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
you pick your rate, you pick your term, and obviously the longer the term and the higher the rate, So all of that works out. But I think it's awesome because it truly breaks it. It puts it back into the client's hands, right? Hey, what do you want? What makes more sense to you? You want a higher interest rate? Do you want a lower payment? Do you want a 10-year? Do you want a 20-year? And then you can kind of, we're watching as Dave was doing this.
That's what's crazy too. They're watching it on the other end. Like I'm on the phone with Raina and she's like watching everything that I'm doing. It was awesome.
That's wild.
Yeah, as he's filling things out, we just see him.
And that's a good feature because there's questions that people might 100%. Have where if you're doing it by yourself, you're like, I don't know so to be able to have you guys on the other line helping them and answering questions as you go through is super cool.
No, it's honestly one of our favorite products that we have coming to CrossCountry because it helped in the 2 months that we've been with CrossCountry. It's already helped several clients, and we already have a few in them going through it as we speak. Like I said, alternative to a bridge loan, just another way to help clients to be able to finance their home.
Okay, so what's the catch?
Okay, so the catch is it is AI. Right? With Dave's chipped ID, it's a pain in the ass because
so dumb.
the help desk, to get through, you got sometimes you're going to be on the phone. I think you were almost an hour, if not over an hour.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And that's just the honest truth. And that's kind of like, which I know you guys have fun with working with Meta and Facebook to get a hold of someone.
Yeah.
it's a pain in the ass.
Well, if those of us who don't like to
Yeah.
commit crimes and not mutilate our IDs, then we don't have to worry about that.
Correct. Then you would have had your money
this
in
was-
5 days.
This was really Dave's
You're
fault.
not even a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, a crime's
So-
a crime, dude.
A crime's a crime. That's what I told him. I think he committed mortgage fraud on top of it. But no, I think, it's tough because we had another client and he refinanced a house a few months ago, but it's still showing up on his credit report. So the AI took it as he has 2 loans on this property, then want to approve him for the third one. So that was a little pain in the butt. He had to go have the bureaus remove it or show that his previous loan was paid off. He only has 1 loan on the house. Went back in it, approved.
Okay.
In
Yeah, I
minutes.
think the big thing is that if you have to contact people for it, it can get difficult, right? If you have a little
100%.
hang up like the picture ID. If my ID went through, I had no other hang ups. I mean, everything was so fine. And then when you do your signing, it's literally a virtual signing. Everybody had something in their nose. The first girl we did a signing with, for me, had like 8 different rings in her nose. It's like, where are you at? She's like, I'm in Arkansas. I'm like, awesome. And she literally
Not
goes, show
Portland,
me your
huh?
ID. And you show her your ID. And then she reads you a little thing.
No way.
And then on the screen is a little thing. She's like, go ahead and sign that. And you sign it as one thing and you're done.
Yeah.
And then we had to call back for Renee. And then that person had oxygen in their nose and they were in Vegas. So
Well, that makes sense.
that
lots
tracks.
of things in your nose.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So wait, are all just slight sidebar here? Are all mobile notaries going to go that route?
Not all, but it's called RON, Remote Online Notary. So that's kind of I wouldn't say taken over, but it's been pushing and getting closer to take over a lot of regular loan signings. So it's just easy.
Yeah,
You
way
don't
easy.
have to have someone travel anywhere. Everything's done electronically. So it's quicker too for us to get the documents back and so on.
Okay.
Cool.
Cost. Is that a factor in this type of loan?
Certainly. I think ours ended up being around 11 grand,
Okay.
10 or 11 grand to do. And I still had costs with closing on
Yep.
the other one too. It wasn't anything drastic. But it was so nice, like I said, to just be done with the process. I didn't have to pay for an appraisal. I didn't have other things. So you're kind of getting all of it wrapped up into one. But like I said, I mean, the truth is, if you're going to borrow money, you're going to pay for money.
Yep.
Anybody that thinks they're going to get money for free, that's not the way it
No.
works. I love it when people say like, I got the best deal ever. I go, the bank's making money.
Well, I think if you live
promise.
in some of these blue states, you can actually get money for free.
You can.
I think you have to be illegal first. But
So it's a very niche product, right? But it's really powerful for people that are in the right position.
Right.
It's not right for everybody, obviously, but it's
Correct.
a pretty cool tool.
and we've talked about bridge loans before, and it's in that same realm, right? I'm not going to tell everyone to go use this product. It's not. A lot of times, most of the times, it's going to be someone that's transitioning from one house to another, needs their equity out of this house, the one they're selling before they close on this, but this one's not going to close until after. So it's just another avenue, another alternative product for instead of a bridge loan. It is still going to be a lot cheaper than a bridge loan, and like we said earlier, it is more expensive than traditional, 100%. But even then, you had an option, right, when you were picking it at the end to see how you want lower closing costs where you're going to get a higher interest rate,
Yep.
right? And that's to Dave's point. Nothing's free. They're gonna make their
And if you're
money.
going to pay it off sooner than later, then you can take the higher interest rate if you're going to knock it out
100%.
soon.
But
just pay
okay,
less.
but once you have that HELOC, I mean, he has it forever, right? Like he can.
It's
just-
not forever.
He-
You will have to, there is time how long you want to have it for, and it's called
Okay.
the draw period. The draw period is when you can borrow money, pay it back as many times as you want.
Okay.
So there is with HELOCs, there is draw periods, and you can work around that as well and see what do you want, how quickly you want to pay it off, and to Dave's point, it's going to depend on case to case,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, if you are in the market to do a renovation, remodel, do something like that, and you have equity in your home, or you want to do something like a bridge to buy something else and use the equity, dude, this product was phenomenal. It was really, really
100%.
cool. Very easy to go through.
They should change the name to 29-minute HELOC because it sounds cooler.
I could have done it quicker.
And then
20 minutes.
he could have probably closed in 3 days, but
Yeah, the old ID thing.
We're
Well,
done. We're done.
fantastic information. Thank you.
No, thank you guys. I mean, like I said, I appreciate you guys having us up here, and just a great product, another tool, right? And if anyone has a question, we'll go over the regular or traditional versus the figure.
Perfect. You guys are amazing. We will do a video soon about how many deals you have saved for us from other lenders because we're in the middle of one right now. We won't get into it now. It's a little teaser, but we appreciate you guys. You guys kill it for our clients.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right. Later.